In order to respond to the brief that has been presented to us, where we have to compare two different entities in the world of design, I chose to compare the latest models of two of the most influential companies in the world, Apple and Samsung. Both companies have been mostly involved in nowadays market, developing the latest models of their smartphones around the same time, the iPhone 11 alongside their upgrade models Pro and Pro Max, and the Samsung Galaxy Fold. More specifically, the research performed for this project will be mainly focused on the aesthetics and the physical attributes of the two of the models, as well as the impact both companies have on society. Starting with the iPhone 11, we can comprehend that from the previous model, Apple designed a smartphone that changed the way photography was perceived by their users just by looking at the design of the cover of the phone. The two lenses are a major difference, giving the user a variety of wide-angle cameras to use. Apple went to the extent of adding a third lenses on the upgrade models, the iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max. This third camera lenses includes an option of telephoto cameras according to Mac rumors. A telephoto lenses is designed to get you as close to a distant subject as possible. With their higher focal length, telephoto lenses let you zoom in generally between 2 to 2.3 times of the frame without compromising on the image quality, to quote Sneha Bokil from the Guiding Tech website. According to the first reference, Mac rumors, the new model of the iPhone also features a night mode that has been long anticipated by Apple, included in the new iOS update. More durable glass, improved water resistance, haptic touch, and a 6.1-inch liquid retina display screen, among other technical developments. Switching to the Samsung Galaxy Fold, a new Android-operated smartphone, includes a large range of physical developments, escaping from the traditional idea of a mobile phone. The model includes two screen displays, the cover one having a size of 4.6 inches when the phone is folded, and the larger one having a size of 7.3 inches once it's fully opened. The RAM memory is 12 GB, while the storage of the device is 512 GB. Just like the iPhone 11, the Samsung Galaxy Fold also has three different cameras placed in three different locations of the device, cover, front and rear, being the rear camera the most detailed one pixel-wise. The locking system of both phones differ, since the iPhone 11 relies on a face recognition system, whereas the Samsung Galaxy Fold requires a fingerprint, which is accessible whether the phone is closed or open, but the authors of the review found its placement a little tricky to reliably locate every time. With the major specifications listed, I'll explain the main topic of focus of the following project, the aesthetics of the product and the impact of the products on society from a subjective point of view. From an analytic point of view, when one handles the new iPhone 11, one gets the impression that from the previous models the design didn't change drastically, like it did with the Galaxy Fold. According to Apple, the iPhone 11 is made from the most durable glass ever in a smartphone, so in theory it should hold up better to accidental bumps and drops. The display of the buttons remained pretty much identical to the previous models, with a lock button on the right and the ringer control and volume controls on the left, following the change that happened from the iPhone 5 to iPhone 6. The color range of the iPhone 11 is widely larger than the previous model, the iPhone X, since this model only had two sets, space gray and silver. The latest model has 6 different color options, black, green, yellow, purple, product red and white, providing the client with a much larger possibility to choose, promoting the idea of identity. In order to present some evidence of external research, I looked for online feedback from iPhone users in a forum called Reddit, under the subcategory of iPhone 11. Something that didn't surprise me was the fact that most of these posts were either questions about software glitches looking to be solved by the community, or posts of pictures using the new features including the upgraded camera lenses such as the night mode, showing comparisons from pictures taken with previous models and pictures taken with the iPhone 11. In terms of accessibility improvements on a customer-based experience, the iPhone 11 was an enormous change, since the biggest improvement was the new operative system launched and presented in the same event. Moving on to one of Samsung's latest model, the Galaxy Fold, from an objective point of view we can perceive immediately that this phone completely changes the way society looks into a smartphone, since its outside shape is highly similar to one of books. The most impressive development design-wise is the hinge that facilitates the task of folding the phone. According to the official website of Samsung, the model features a precision-crafted hinge that is made of multiple interlocking gears hidden away on the rear for an elegant look, while allowing for minimal bezels on the main display. Tested and retested for durability alongside the Infinity Flex display, it stands up to the folds and unfolds of everyday life. After repeating the same process of research described previously for the iPhone 11, I gathered some complaints regarding the hinge highly defended by the developing company Samsung. The cleaning process of the hinge is by far the most described problem, since it's quite inaccessible to the common user, but according to one of the users, Samsung has specific technicians for that process. In another post under the same subcategory of the online forum, a user named IamChimeraX mentioned one of his main concerns while using the phone is that the hinge might get unpractical due to the extreme weather conditions. He also mentioned that the larger screen had no problems while working with gloves, but on the other hand, the cover screen had some serious difficulties, turning into a waste of time. In another online conversation with a different user, Squizblog, he pointed that the phone, quoting, has everything you would expect from a current flagship. The folding screen is amazing. But the same user said that he wouldn't recommend the phone to anyone since not everyone needs the features explored by the bigger screen. Based on a few opinions, including the one mentioned previously, some people believe that the fact that this Samsung model has two different screen displays is an advantage, since the smaller one allows the user to quickly complete tasks with one hand, and if necessary they can open the phone and use both hands for a task that might require that. Other opinions that corroborate the effectiveness of the phone emerge from the same online conversations, defending that the two screens is a luxury that would be quite irreplaceable in the future, since carrying this phone is like carrying a smartphone and a tablet in one. To be able to comment on the aesthetics of the phone, we must understand the definition of the concept. According to Charlotte and Peter Thiel, authors of the book called 100 Ideas That Change Design, aesthetics consists of an important factor in design because people are far more likely to be attracted to objects that are visually pleasing to them. And although it is widely acknowledged that the beauty of a design can enhance our experience of it, there is much less agreement as to what actually constitutes beauty. From a subjective point of view, the two phones go through very different paths when it comes to its own design. One following the tradition of smartphones, and the second one remotely pointing to a shape of a book. While the iPhone 11 follows the patterns shown for several years in the development of world of smartphones, the Galaxy Fold represents a leap in the design of products, since it fled away from the constant. The Samsung Galaxy Fold represents the jump forward that humans tend to perform every time something new is developed, even if it doesn't turn out to be an accomplishment, market-wise. According to Emil Pratelinski, the Galaxy Fold wasn't even chosen by multiple career companies as a worth-selling product, opting not to carry the phone. The smartphone developed by Samsung represents the development that we need to achieve as a race in order to reach progress and evolution. Turning a known and socially accepted product like a smartphone into more than just a smartphone is something that needed to be done eventually, and we as a human race must thank Samsung for taking the first step. Without evolution and development, we will reach a point of stagnation in humanity's history, and since we are conscious, self-aware living beings, we seek that previously mentioned evolution and development unconsciously. Even if we fail in the seek for that evolution, failure will provide the needed knowledge to achieve success at the next try. Thank you for watching.